Have you finished Fourth Wing and now every other book feels dull and boring? Here are 10 books that I would recommend based on what you loved most about Fourth Wing. While reading Fourth Wing, if you really loved Xaden, I would definitely recommend The Hurricane Wars. The Hurricane Wars is about two warriors fighting on opposite sides of the war. They are basically forced into each other's lives despite years of hatred. I feel like this book would really cater to those that liked Xaden, as there is a powerful main male character, and he definitely gives those morally grey vibes. Additionally, there is a strong enemies to lovers trope, and with that comes a lot of tension and chemistry. And there's also a very similar dynamic of I shouldn't like this person. So yeah, if you really liked Fourth Wing because of Xaden, then this book would definitely cater to you. Another book, if you really liked Xaden, is The Bridge Kingdom. This book basically follows a princess that is trained to destroy a rival kingdom, and as part of her mission, she ends up marrying the king. There's a lot of great chemistry between the characters, and there is also that enemies to lovers trope. In this book, there is a very smart main male character and a female main character, which I know that a lot of people do love. Additionally, there is a lot of tension as well. It also is very political, which is quite different from Fourth Wing, but yeah, I would definitely say that it is a very strong romantasy book. If you really liked the romantic tension in Fourth Wing, then I would definitely recommend to you The Serpent and the Wings of Night. This book basically follows a human girl that is raised by a vampire king. She ends up entering a deadly vampire competition, and she's forced to work alongside a rival of hers who is very dangerous. This book has a lot of strong romance. It also has a high stakes competition. The pacing is quite similar to Fourth Wing as well, and the main male character also has very similar energy as Xaden, and there's also a very good balance of fantasy and romance. So if you're looking for something very close to Fourth Wing, this is the book that I would recommend the most. Additionally, if you're looking for something with that same romantic tension, then I would recommend Powerless. Powerless basically follows a girl that has no powers in a kingdom full of power hierarchy, and she ends up in a dangerous competition. If you really like humor and banter, this definitely has that. It is a pretty fast-paced story, and it definitely has that competitive environment. I've definitely noticed that a lot of Fourth Wing readers do tend to like this book as well, and it does have very strong romantic tension. If you really liked the dragon aspect of Fourth Wing, then I would recommend Eragon. This book basically follows a farm boy who discovers a dragon egg. He becomes a dragon rider and gets pulled into a war. This book has dragon bonds, dragon rider academies, which is very similar to Fourth Wing. There's a lot of adventure, and it is an epic fantasy world, but this book definitely places more focus on dragons rather than romance, so if you like that, then this book would be for you. If you loved the deadly training and the sort of trials, then I would recommend The Prison Healer. This book follows a healer that is working inside a brutal prison in which they are forced into a series of deadly trials. This book has those survival elements. There's a lot of challenges and competitions. There is also a very strong female main character. I would say this book is quite underrated, but yeah, if you like that constant feeling of danger or constant trials, then this book would be for you. On that note, I would also recommend An Ember in the Ashes. This book follows a girl who infiltrates a military academy. This leads to a soldier beginning to question everything that he's been taught. If you like that military sort of setting, then you would like this book. There is also high stakes and also amazing character development. For me personally, I felt like this book carries a lot of emotional damage. There also is a pretty strong romance subplot, and I personally feel like this book is quite a rewarding fantasy book. If you want a darker fantasy, then I would recommend One Dark Window. This book follows a girl who has a dangerous magical spirit living inside of her mind. She ends up getting caught up in a mission to save the kingdom. This book has a unique magic system as well as a gothic atmosphere. It has dark fantasy vibes, and it definitely is a more mature setting. I feel like the writing is very beautiful, and it definitely is quite immersive into that world. If you want an obsession with a longer series, then I would recommend Throne of Glass. Throne of Glass follows an assassin who competes for her freedom, and as the story progresses, it becomes a much larger fantasy story. This book has really incredible character growth, especially as the books go on. One major thing about the book is that there is found family. You do grow an attachment with a lot of the characters, and overall it is a very huge fantasy world. This series is very big on book talk as well, so it's definitely perfect if you want a long series to obsess over. If you want something that's a little more underrated, then I would recommend the Jasad Heir. This book basically follows the hidden heir of a destroyed kingdom. She is forced back into dangerous politics after her powers are discovered. This book has a powerful female main character, a lot of strong romance, really good world building. It is also a political fantasy. I would definitely say that it is an underrated gem. I feel like if you've definitely read a lot of the bigger books on book talk, then you should definitely pick up this book. Honestly, if you finished Fourth Wing or Iron Flame, then I feel for you because that book hangover can be crazy. I hope that one of my recommendations might help you find something that you can be obsessed with next. But overall, I really hope that you enjoyed watching my video and that it was somewhat helpful. Thank you for watching.